Hey guys, welcome back to Journey Principles Whiteboard Lessons. In this video, I'm going to help you understand what it takes to go from stuck to unstoppable by moving you from a traditional lifestyle to a transformational lifestyle. So stay tuned. All right, guys, so one of the crazy things that I used to transform every area of my life specifically was helping me understand and overcome my own mindset and belief systems, if you will. Well, when it comes down to it, one of the things that I discovered along this process is there's really two types of lifestyles. The first one is known as the traditional lifestyle, and I'll go through it in just a second. And the second one is a transformational lifestyle. And I'll also go through that in a second. The reason it is so important is because one will actually lead you towards stagnation, frustration, and feeling overwhelmed on a regular basis, and one leads you towards peace and freedom and prosperity. So we got to decide which one we want to live, and we have to go and live it with all we've got. So let me break them down for you real fast and let you figure out which one you want to live and see how you can move forward. Okay, first of all, the traditional lifestyle. Let's go ahead and look at that one in detail. All right, check this out. Did you know that 67% of the entire population would say that they're stuck and frustrated? And here's why that is. And this is where I used to get hung up on a regular basis. First of all, most of us are starting every day reliving the days before it. In other words, we're taking our past, we're taking our traumas, we're taking our blind spots, we're taking the things that have taken us to today, all the stuff we built up, and we're using that to make decisions about the future. It's why there is such a thing as a limiting belief. It's why there is such a thing as trying to break fear and doubt on a regular basis, okay? And the way we get around that is by doing the other lifestyle. Well, let's keep digging into this one first, okay? So if 67% of the population are frustrated and overwhelmed, they're living a life of consistent pain, okay? Right? Pain is a very primal driver. And since a primal driver will make you have bad decisions, then you get stuck in the outlook phase. And here's what I mean. If you use your outlook each day to move forward, then what's inevitably happening is you are not making quality decisions for yourself, which means you move to the next step, which is you're living a life with absolutely no strategy, okay? People that live by outlook alone never actually take the time to create a plan to become financially successful, to build healthy relationships, to have a great sense of identity, confidence, and authenticity, okay? That's important, especially if you want to actually build the life you love, okay? So check this out. If that's step one, right? Outlook controls our lack of a strategy or the fact we don't have a strategy, then that's going to influence the type of actions we take on a regular basis. All right, if I don't believe I can make a difference, if I don't believe I can move forward, why would I ever create a plan? I mean, really, why would I ever create a plan? Right? And if I don't have a plan, I'm not going to be able to know what actions to take. Well, let's face it, if I don't know what actions to take, I'm not going to be able to move forward at all. Okay? And here's what happens with that. If I don't know the actions I take, or it's all reaction, I never get the outcome I want. I never get the result I want. And it all started with this first area here, outlook. How is your outlook holding you back today? What would you do with your life if you believe, now get this, you could actually do it, okay? If you believed you could actually do it, what would you do? Would you go and make more money? Would you go and have better relationships? Would you go and have a sense of identity and purpose and mission and meaning? What would you do with that? Ironically, all we've got to do is take these four attributes of outcome, strategy, routines, daily routines, and then outcomes, flip them around a little bit, okay? And that way we can avoid pain, or at least know more than we need to learn. We can get unstuck, get our little green man out of here, okay? And move forward. So when you think traditional lifestyle, you need to think stuck. Never fails. Most of the comments we get, most of the questions we get, all of them are asking in one variety or form or fashion in one way or another, how do I get unstuck? Well, today you get the answer. This is the exact same set of principles I used to take myself from living in a car to building several companies. to living a life I love with my wife, who is incredible, to having children that are actually growing up with confidence of their own. Because if you're a parent and you don't have confidence in what you're doing, you're telling your kids that it's not okay to have confidence themselves, okay? What you're about to learn right now can not only change your life, but every life that you touch. And that's why this is so powerful, all right? What we're going to do is we're going to use imagination and drive dreams, potential, and the outcomes we want, all right? Some of our other content I've actually mentioned getting as serious as actually taking all 5 senses and clearly articulating on paper or to yourself in a mirror of the dreams and aspirations you want, right? Make a vision board. Take the time to say, this is what it is I want, this is what it is I want, this is what it is I want. For example, one of the things that I did back when I was about 19 years old, right at 19, transitioning to 20, was I wrote myself a $100,000 check. Now, as you can imagine, there's no way in the world I could have cashed that check, all right? However, what I did do is I kept it on my refrigerator, okay? And then in my bathroom mirror, I wrote things like buy my own house or purchase my own house, be able to go on vacations to Hawaii and Puerto Rico and Mexico and San Diego, okay? And I put them up on there to constantly remind me what it is I was after, what it is I really needed to move forward, right? What it is I wanted my life to become, okay? I set my outcomes so focused in my heart that any day that I didn't take at least one step forward, I would get a little frustrated with myself, but in a good way, right? And then I would get up the next day and I would try to take 2 steps than the day before, right? You want to make sure that you keep your dreams, your ambitions, and the things that you want desperately in your life. Now, I don't mean like the car you want to drive, okay? I mean like the entire picture, right? Don't make all your efforts after going buying a sports car, okay? Make your efforts around the life you want to have 5, 10, 15 years out, okay? Dream big. Put the stuff in front of you. Make sure that outcome is so clear that you've used all 5 of your senses to actually make that vision or that painting, if you will, that mental image something powerful, okay? Now, so if that's step 1, when you clearly articulate what vision you want, your outcome, your hope, your dream, your goal, your aspiration, once you can clearly articulate those things, all you have to do is start with the end in mind, right? So that outcome is set, okay? So that's my outcome, all right? That's the end in mind. That's my 5-year picture, my 10-year picture, my 20-year picture. And I work backwards to create the steps and actions I need to take, if you will, to make that a reality, okay? Because once you actually know where you want to go, you create a plan to get there, you simply just do step 3, which is take specific activities, okay? If you want to change your financial picture, then you're probably going to have to change your spending habits, your saving habits, your learning habits, your momentum, okay? Your motivations behind that spending behavior, okay? I had to get out of the poverty mindset, okay? Big time, right? I had to think that my future was so valuable that I was willing to have delayed gratification for as much as 3 years or more to make sure I got out of debt, I put money away, I got my savings in place, and I kept moving forward, right? You've got to do the same thing. If you want to change your life and you want to transform every aspect of it, you've got to make sure that you're taking daily steps to make that happen, right? So one of the things that I had to do was I had to get out of debt and I had to develop a financial stewardship model that kept me in a safe place, that kept me going, moving forward on a regular basis, okay? Which means I had to learn, I had to apply, and I had to measure, okay? So when you're looking at your activities, learn, forgot the R there, no comment, apply, and measure, okay? When you learn, apply, and measure, one of the things you're doing with that specifically is you're learning to confidently look at the overall step you've taken, okay? You're looking at not the outcome of whether or not you got it all done today, but more of the effort. You're rewarding yourself for the effort. I call it a little dopamine hit. So for those of you guys who haven't checked out our Q&A sessions, I suggest you do that, because one of the things I just recently went over on the Q&A channel is this, the dopamine hit. Okay? When you're able to lay out your activities and learn, and apply and measure them, and you can lay them out. Every time you check the box, you get to have a dopamine hit. It's the same dopamine hit that you get every time you look at a notification in your Facebook app or your Instagram or your TikTok. Like every single time you get that little check mark and you get to, ooh, somebody liked or commented on one of the things I did. It's the same exact dopamine hit, right? So make sure you drive your outcomes, drives your strategies create your action items, your activities, and then that to-do list becomes a dopamine hit that you get to look at every day. Keeps you moving forward, okay? Which over time transforms your entire outlook. All of a sudden you go from, I'll never be able to do that, to there's nothing I can't do. Because that's the truth. There's absolutely nothing that you can't do if you'll put in the work. If you'll take what I'm teaching you and you learn it and you apply it and you measure it, you will win. It's that simple. But it's up to you. Are you willing to learn, apply, measure, and win? I sure hope so, right? I was able to radically change my life, so it brings me to the place of clear purpose. And in case you haven't heard me say this before, the greatest purpose in life you'll ever have is serving the person you used to be. But in order to do that, you got to become more. And you may not have felt like all this time that you've been able to become more. I just gave you the roadmap. All you got to do is apply it. That's it. All you got to do is apply it. So, get clear. Start dreaming. Use all 5 senses. Make that a reality. Start within the mind and start laying out the steps that you think you need to take. And if you're not sure, go ahead and email us at questions@journeyprinciples.com and we'll get you connected to one of our life mastery guides, right? Then you're going to take your activities. And finally, confident outlook. And finally, just like I was able to, after only a few short years of sacrifice, you'll be able to travel places you've never traveled before. You'll be able to have more financial security than you ever thought possible. And you'll have relationships that finally add value to your life on a regular basis. And you won't have to feel lonely or isolated any longer. You can do this. We believe in you, and we'll see you on the next video. Take care. That's about all the time we have for today's whiteboard lesson. Hopefully that gave you some real value that you begin to put away right now. If you enjoyed today's video and you want to dig even deeper, I put together a free ebook called The 5 Must-Have Principles for a Personal Breakthrough. If your goal is to make change in any area of your life, these 5 principles are absolutely necessary if you want to make that progress lasting. You can access that by clicking the link in the description below this video. All right, you're up.